Good morning, or, good afternoon, good evening, good midnight, wherever you are. Hi, welcome back to the Maker Bee podcast. I am Bee, and I'm just so happy you're here. And we're gonna just hang out for like 30 minutes, and I'm gonna talk to you about a lot of shit I've been doing. This podcast is not child friendly. You know, if your kid can handle a couple of swear words, I would save this until they're asleep, and that's okay. But yeah, hi, I'm Bee, and I do a podcast, and you're gonna watch it. And I've already said that. It is 9 a.m. and I'm drinking coffee, and we're hopefully that coffee's gonna kick in really soon. I hope. Yeah. We do things a little different here. First, I'm gonna we do things opposite. So I do things I recently bought, working on, and my finished objects at the end for a grand finale. First off, I'm gonna tell you that I am wearing my Cozy Classic Light Crop in FLYSS by Handmaiden, and I believe the colorway is Malta. It's 100% silk, which I thought I had never worked with 100% silk before, but I worked with this. I made this 2 years ago now, which is wild, and it's held up beautifully. The colors are pretty. The colorway is still around, kicking around, and yeah, that's what I'm wearing. I'm also got my nails painted all fun. Oh, the light is going to be changing a lot today. There's like clouds and sun, and unfortunately my apartment, not unfortunately, lucky for me, I have a lot of skylights. And so my apartment's lighting is definitely subject to where the sun's shining and what's happening. But you can kind of see one of the skylights is starting to hit me right here. Who knows where it'll go. Okay, so I haven't bought really a lot of things since last time we talked. Like we're having a conversation. Last time you listened to me yammer on for a good 20 minutes about truly nothing except for knitting. But I did pick up mine was Honest Yarn linen in a sport weight. Will it focus on this? I'm gonna hide my face. Look how pretty that is. It's 100% linen. I have never worked with 100% linen before this. Maiwa is, I'm holding it upside down. Maiwa is based in Vancouver. I really like their stuff. I always have. They have, they're a company, they're for profit, but I really like their values. They're very interested in keeping fiber traditions alive, especially non-white fiber traditions. I think most of their workshop stuff happens in India, and so it's a lot of celebrating Indian textiles and Indian ways of creating textiles, which is really cool. It's not nothing is whitewashed, and nothing is sanitized for North American consumption, which I really appreciate. And their prices are high, which means people are getting paid good money, which is truly all I care about. And so I wear their clothes a lot. My pants, these pants right here, that don't look at my feet, these pants right here are from them. I have a matching top that I love. Their clothes, my favorite overshirt, those big white shirts that you just put on, is from there. And I had it for 6 years, and it finally ripped, very recently, 2 weeks ago. So I got a new one. So anyways, yeah, I was in Vancouver with my mom, and I was in there, and I bought myself some Honest Yarn. And I'm pretty content with it. So you'll see that I'm working with it right now. The color is beautiful. The price they were $30 Canadian for one skein. But yeah, I'm excited to wash it because linen is so rough when you first get it, right? So I'm really excited to work with it and let it butter into my body. Does that make any sense? I wanted all my linen clothes butter up, and they get all nice and soft and worn, and they smell like me in a way that I find wool. I can smell, everyone has a smell. I can smell I know what my smell is. I know what it smells like, and I quite like it. When I walk into my apartment, it smells like my girlfriend a little bit, but it definitely smells like me because I've been here for 5 years. I feel like a little dog or something. I feel like I got a pretty good nose, but like I love smelling people. My best friend Kat, like when I smell her like room, I feel like we're back in university, and it's like very nice, you know? So I love linen because it picks up my smell, which sounds like a crazy person thing to say, but I promise. It feels homey, and I think that's what I'm getting at. I really like how homey it feels. But not that way in the beginning. I feel like I'm gonna get like chafing because of how rough it is now, but it will butter up, so I can't wait for that. It's really good yardage, I think, as well for the price. Anyways, let me show you what I'm working on with it right now. So the colors, other thing with Maiwa is that their items are mostly naturally dyed. So all of their stuff, I don't work with their yarn a lot because it's a lot of natural dyes and I prefer brights. But this blue is indigo. It's indigo light. I think it's 2 bats in indigo. And I'm working on a ranunculus in it just because, why the hell not? And I was a little, I don't know what I'm looking for here. I was a little, I don't knit from big designers typically, or designers that I don't follow for a long time, because I want to make sure that I'm giving people that I like my money, and I want to support smaller designers. Like I care more about that. And I didn't know anything about ranunculus other than the fact that it was on my Ravelry homepage for like months and months, and I was like, okay, this has got to be some like, what is it, like perfect little thing, like, you know, the Petite Knit. You know, Petite Knit has like all those sweaters, and like has been under some fire because I'm not size inclusive. It's kind of like very sad beige kind of stuff, and the photos are a little sad beige, but I opened up this pattern and it has like 12 sizes. It is like so beautifully written for sizing. You know when you open up a pattern and you're like, Jesus Christ, how long is this gonna take? Like, what's going on here? I'm the kind of person that likes to pick up and just go. But I was like kind of a little like, why is this pattern so long? But each step is beautifully explained in like numbers, and then it's like in like, you know, like knitting jargon, yarn over, knit together, like all that stuff. And then also written out. And if there's a chart portion, it is like the how you do it written out, how you do it not with knitting jargon, and then also a chart. So it's so beautifully explained. And notes on fit are very clear. Yeah, I really, really enjoyed this pattern. Like I'm having a good time, and I think it's a perfect, like very see-through material for like the linen that I'm trying to go for, and I think it'll soften up quite nicely. And I also think I'm gonna be able to wear this. Like I layer a lot of knits. I'm like the absolute king of layering. I love layering a knit, easy peasy. But yeah, no, I'm really happy with how this is going, and yeah, the ranunculus, it was so fast. Like this was maybe 4 days of work. Like maybe. Not, that's a lie. It was like 2 days of work. I zipped through the whole yoke in a day, separated for sleeves, and I stopped knitting on it because I wanted to show you the skein in its all its glory. But yeah, 100% linen. I'm excited to see how it like butters up. I'm gonna keep saying that, butters up. Oh, and the other thing that I wanted to say about, not this whip particularly, but, and also just a note, none of my content is ever sponsored. And if it becomes sponsored, I will be like very clear about that. But these little tube things, I got from the knitting barber in Vancouver, at my Vancouver favorite local yarn store, Bad Anna's. And I was like, for the longest time, I saw them first at Espace Tricot in Montreal. I was there in February. I am a heavy yarn tourist. If you're wondering why I'm name dropping all these places, all I care about is going to a good knitting store. But they're like little tubes, and they're a little bit hollow they are hollow on the inside, but I have my sleeves on them right now. And I love them because you can just take your needle end and just shove it into the little tube, and it makes transferring stitches on and off so easy. They were a bit expensive. I think they were like $15 for 3 like long ones. But I like them because you can cut them up into smaller pieces. Like, they're really good. I'm like really surprised at how much I like them. I kind of was like, a lot of knitting accessories you don't really need because, you know, you can make do with a lot of stuff. But I really think that the amount of time it takes me to slip these on and off of the sleeve, the stitch markers, like, worth it for me 100%. So I will be, oh shit, I lost some, oh my god, I lost a lot of, I'm just throwing this thing around and I'm losing all my stitches. Lord Judas Christ on a bike. Okay. So anyways, yes, Maiwa, this is my first time using their yarn. I'm very happy with it. I buy their clothes all the time. I like their ethics. I'm gonna link the yarn obviously down in the notes. But if you're thinking about knitting for summer next year, that's the one, I think, anyways. Okay, what else am I working on? I'm working on a lot of stuff right now. I'm gonna pull up this. This is my soul tank, which I don't think I cast on last time. This is the color work. Looking super cute, hey? Right? It's adorable. This is on 2.5mm needles, and it's in silk. So, it is taking me forever. Forever and ever and ever. It's 100% silk from Knitting for Olive. I bought that at Espace Tricot. Each one of these skeins is like 15 bucks, and I'm only gonna need 2 to make this top. Like, that's very good bang for my buck. And the color is Mandarin, which is adorable, I think. And it's great yarn. Like, someone said, I posted it on my Instagram, and I was like, guys, it's like, this yarn is pretty good. Like, I'm surprised how nice it is. And someone told me that everyone is knitting with this year. I feel like I never used to see like summer yarns around. Does that make any sense? Like, I feel like summer yarns are having their moment. That makes more sense. But I knit this mostly when I was in BC before, and I stopped knitting on it because it's so small, it takes forever, and so I'm saving it for when I go to BC. Today is Wednesday. I leave for BC again tomorrow. My family lives in BC, and I was not able to see them at all over the pandemic. And so now that things are safer, not safe, but safer, and you know, like, we know that transmission isn't so bad on planes. I've been going to see my family more and more just to like make up for lost time, and it's been really nice. But I'm going tomorrow because my mom and I, like every mom and child, I feel like, who grew up in the early 2000s, have like a very special connection over the Chicks. Also used to be known as the Dixie Chicks. Now they're just the Chicks. And they're playing a concert, an outdoor concert at the Gorge in Washington. And I'm so excited to go. It's an outdoor concert, so I think I'll feel safe. And just like their new album was so good. So we're going to be driving from Vancouver all the way down. It's about 10 hours of driving total, plus my 12 hours on the planes. I've got about 22 hours of just like transportation or passenger time to finish this guy off, which I feel like is more than enough time. So I've been saving it so that I wouldn't I like to travel with a project that I don't have to take too much. So it used to be my purple crop top because it's fingering weight and it's 3x3 rib and it takes forever. And now it's this one because it takes forever. Hopefully it takes forever because I don't want to be SOL when I'm in BC. But yeah, so something about the project. I've chosen to leave out the baubles in the charts just because they're not for me. I've never loved baubles. They're a little too nipply for me. So I've left out the baubles. And I think the chart looks just as good, hey? I don't think they're very noticeable. But it's very intricate, very beautiful. And it's very satisfying to knit because it's not too much stockinette, and you can actually memorize this chart pretty easily. So, not easily, you can memorize a chart. I love memorizing a chart. It's pretty intuitive once you get going too. Anyways, I really like this. It's been very enjoyable. I'm working on all these summer knits, and it's almost end of August, which is totally fine. You know, like I can layer things in the winter. Also, it's muggy here straight up until early October, so it's all good with me. Okay, yeah, and I kind of my next project, very interesting. I'm making a look at my holes crop top. Look at my holes raglan. I'm not sure what the suffix is there. I'm working with it. Yeah. So I tested this before it came out last year, and I ordered yarn because it was I still wasn't going in person to do things. So I ordered yarn, and it came, and I was very disappointed with the color, but I was testing it, so I didn't have time to send the yarn back and then have a redo. And so I had this like burnt orange color. It was kind of like muddier than this, and it really wasn't for me. And so I gave it to my friend, but I still wanted a top, so I got to remake it. And this was sitting on my desk, and I was like, "What am I gonna make it this? Like, what am I?" And I was like, "Oh, of course, a ripple, a look at my holes by James and Watts." Oh, and I totally didn't name the other designers. I'm so sorry. This is James and Watts. This yarn is very interesting because look at I got it at a thrift. I paid $5 for, I think, 5.5 skeins. It is, I think it's 40% linen and 60% cotton. And it's really interesting because it's double, the linen cotton is twisted, and then they're twisted again to make the yarn. So there's 3 places where it could split, so it's definitely taking me longer than I hoped. But it is fun because when they're together, they kind of have like almost a halo effect. I don't know if you can see that at all, but it's a little fuzzy, which I like quite a bit. The yarn itself, it's Tessem Linette, and I did find it on Rav, but no one had dates on their stuff. The latest entry that I saw on Ravelry was like 2013 that someone put in their stash, which is interesting because this, to me, so context, my job, I do own a secondhand, like a vintage shop. That's what I do for work. And so my entire job, all I do is date things. It's kind of like, I've been doing it for 4 years, so I'm pretty good at it, you know? But it's really hard to date things when there's no, like, the knitting community doesn't really care about vintage yarns. That's not like a big part of the community, you know? So it's hard because there's a lot of resources to date yarn. But the graphic design on this is like very 70s, obviously. Or maybe even 80s. But with graphic design, like, things can last decades, right? So this yarn could be 50 years old, but it also could be 10 years old. I think because of the low quality and the fact that it's made in Holland, that tells me it's older. Because you're not going to see Holland manufacturing a whole lot of yarn these days. Like linen cotton yarn. I think it might have some production otherwise, but like it was also, so the original price tag on this was $250. So I'm wondering, like, when you could have gotten a ball of yarn like this for $250. You know, that's the other thing. So this is where my brain is at. I'm so curious about this yarn. If you know how old this is, I don't want opinions because I have my own. But if you know for sure how old this yarn is, I would love to know. I really want it to be older, but it probably isn't because that's kind of how these things work. It's like, you're like, oh yeah, it's from the 70s. And it's like, no, the 2000s did the 70s very well. All these things come back in a circle and all this sort of stuff. So anyways, that's that. Also, they have a machine washable sign, and the little washing machine that they have looks like an old model. I'm just going to show it to you. But also, once again, graphic design does not mean anything, really. It's just graphic design. Okay. So that's that. This was like a impulse cast on. And truly, I don't know why I have so much on the go right now. I've got 4 projects on the go, and I just finished one, so I had 5 projects on the go. And because I cast one off, I can start one now, right? That's how that works, right? No? Maybe? Please, God, can I start another project? My next cast on is going to be, well, I have leftovers from a finished object to make an ardent tea. And so I'm kind of thinking about that, but I don't think I would be able to finish it in time for like actually cold weather. But also, it's a great layering piece, the ardent tea by Kindred Red, Amalia S. I can never remember her last name, but I'm thinking about that. I don't know if I should start that because summer will be over by the time I've done it, or if I should start something else entirely. I just can't tell. Oh, if I wasn't starting the ardent tea, I would probably start the Cloud Bow, which was on one of the more recent pom-poms, the Cloud Bow dress. I'm going to be making a dress out of, like fully out of mohair, which I'm pretty excited for. Okay, my last whip is in this beautiful project bag from BookU. I have really cute little pins on it. Do you like my pins? I love the Cancer Crab and bit knitting. Got my little mall rat pin. Got my little These Needles Kill Fascists. Little yarn sniffer. And Knit Me. It's cute, right? My mom got me this. I talk about my mom a lot. We talk every day. We're very close. So I'm working on the SEAGLASS tee. If you have been watching me for a while, you'll remember this from very far back. I feel like I haven't. Well, I put this down, and I was like, why did I put this down? And then I remember why I put it down. But this is my fingering weight 3.5 millimeter needle, 1x1 color work, change both colors every row project. So for where the green is, that green line and up, it took me about 2 hours. Odds of me actually finishing this ever, super low. But I have all of these really fun cotton colors from my Naughty and Nice advent calendar from Trailhead Yarns last year, which was a gift from one of my really good friends. Fantastic birthday gift. Best gift ever, actually. And I wanted to use it for something special to make this tea, and I was like, okay, it'll take me forever to make it, and that makes it super special. Like, that's all you can ask for, right? But I started, and while it is so fun, the odds of me finishing it are so low. This is for process knitters only. I would not recommend the pattern to a product knitter. I'm like partially, like I can really get into a process for sure. But if it's too tedious, I make no promises. Like, I'm just some guy. I can't spend 100 hours on a shirt, or I guess I can. But also, like, the anti-capitalist in me is like, if you spend 100 hours on something and you love it, and it's so unproductive, and you're just like making things because you want to make it, how awesome is that? I'm not like being productive for anybody else. I'm just like doing something for me. Yeah, I don't know. There's a lot of that in like I think about that a lot. Knitting, I get really caught up in the, like putting out as much as possible, like output in my knitting. Just because I love to wear my knits like almost every day. I think maybe more than that, maybe 2 a day, if it's cold out. But also, sometimes it's cool to just slow down and have a good, comfy, processed knit that will take you 100 hours for a t-shirt. Cheers to that, lads. Okay, so you would have seen me just recently throw my drop spindle, just like chucked it, kind of by accident. But I got a drop spindle, and if you remember this whole saga, it was a whole ordeal. I had a drop spindle. My mother, who is like the Marie Kondo queen, just threw it out for funsies, I guess, along with some very beautiful milk glass that I found. If you're into thrifting, you know milk glass is a big deal. But then she felt sorry and bought me a new drop spindle, the same one pretty much, but they're handmade, so like vaguely different. And then I was able to finally spin something. Oh my god, I spun something. You'll remember the fiber, I think, from my last podcast. I talked about it. But it was 50 grams of something or other. And that truly, the tag just said mixed fiber. So who the hell knows what's in there? I don't. But I love the colors. Light pink and light blue. Nice, right? I love this guy. I'm surprised how fast spinning is. It did not take me long at all. This is obviously I'm not saying this is good work. I'm brand new to this. Whatever I do is not going to be good work. But oh my god, it was fun. When I first got my drop spindle, everyone at the store was like, you're going to be so bad at this. Like, just so you know, you're going to be terrible. Like, don't be discouraged. It's going to be okay. Like, don't worry. And then everyone I talked to was like, oh my god, it's so hard. And I think I saw a series of Instagram stories. People like, this is the worst thing ever. Like, it was so hard for me to do. Like, I will never spin again. And I was like kind of stressed to start. I was kind of scared to try because everyone was like, this was the worst thing in the world. It was so difficult. How can anyone do this? And I was like, oh shit. Like, I'm just going to suck at this. And like, you know, you don't want to, if you know you're going to suck at something, you're not too excited to do it, you know? But anyways, I started it. And then I was like, oh, this is not bad at all. Like, I'm not good at it, but it's not like the end of the world. And I do think that is, unfortunately, my mentality for a lot of things. Like, I think I know what I'm going to like and dislike before I try it. And I used to be a very picky eater as a child, so I feel like it all stems from the same place or something. But I really, like, it was a really good lesson for me to start this and enjoy it so much, and be surprised by how not bad I was. You never know what's going to happen, you know, like, you never know, because my preconceived notion of something isn't what it is, wasn't accurate. There we go. It just reminded me that there is so much possibility of things working out better than you think they could. And because of all that, actually, because of this whole realization, I'm literally going to start a nonprofit that I've been talking about and sitting on for like a year now. So I'm just going to do it because I figured that this wasn't as hard as I thought it was going to be. If I just like sat down and did it, I'm literally just going to start a nonprofit. I have the whole thing planned out, and you'll probably hear more about it later. But because I spun yarn, I was like, yeah, I can start a nonprofit. Easy. Which is a nuts, you know, that's a reach for sure. But it also just reminded me that I can do hard things. I can do like really hard things and not be like not so bad at it, you know? Like, this is workable. I'm gonna make this into a mug rug. Because Brittany from Crux Fibers? Yeah. Brittany was like, you should make it into a mug rug. Genius idea, that's so smart. So I'm gonna do that. And then I'm gonna sip coffee off of that mug rug while I'm on my computer figuring out my nonprofit. So, cheers to that, lads! Okay, hi. We went over the set amount of time for recording. So anyways, that is that. Let us move on to my finished objects, because I am supposed to be picking my buddy up for breakfast in 10 minutes. I'm so sorry, Kat. I'm gonna be late. What do we got here? We have finished object alert. The Replaced Raglan by James and Watts. Knit in a mono Sammy. Well, it's a mono yarns and it's Sammy, which means happy and catchwell, which is really cool. The color is, what color is it? Color 7879. I hate it when they don't give names for the colors. I want fun names. But I whipped this up in about a week and a half. It was harder and it took longer than I thought it would because I was like, oh, lace, that'll be so fast. I'll whip it up. It's on little needles. It took me a bit longer than it should have. The yarn was a dream to work with. It's so far my favorite cotton yarn. These cotton yarns are plied. It's a plied cotton yarn, which I don't like very much. Like, I don't like the, well, the thing with plied cotton yarns is that they pill. So this is gonna pill like a motherfucker, and that's okay. That's fine. Because right now it's super cute and it looks really good on all my summer outfits. Little bubblegum candy princess. I did not do any mods to this whatsoever. I didn't do a single mod. I just did the pattern. It's a very simple, like, I don't know what you would mod. I guess you make it longer or shorter. I guess I maybe probably made it shorter than I'm supposed to. But I like the way it hits right on my boobs, so it's perfect. Yeah, that's it. That's my shirt. Yeah, Sammy, so this is the cotton yarn that I liked quite a bit, and I have leftovers, so I could make an ardent tee if I get more of the same yarn, but in different colors. So that is that on that. And I'm trying to go fast because I'm trying to get my buddy for lunch, so I'm sorry if I'm going too fast. And then I finished the Sunwake crop by Wenke Peterson from Pom Pom summer, I think it was not the block party, but summer 2019. Might have been summer 2019. This yarn is from, this is the yarn that I was complaining about last time. This is my work in progress. This is Nurture from the finest Peruvian Tangus cotton. The color is Coal, color 29. I did not like this yarn at all. It was like knotted in so many different places. Kind of like, that's why I think I stopped knitting with cotton yarns. Yeah, I made the neck way too big on this because the pattern is a bit more conservative. Like the neckline kind of goes here, and I'm like, I'm young. I want to be hot. I want a big ass neckline. Hey, guess what? That means it falls off my shoulders. So I'm gonna put a little tie in the back, make it fit better. But yeah. Overall, I would 100% knit this pattern again. I think the pattern is beautifully written. I would not use this yarn ever again. I love a little lace. I love a little lace moment. I always will. The fit of this is beautiful as well. Impossible to complain. It's kind of exactly what it looks like on my body if I hold it like that. I'm not even holding it. This is it. Okay, so that's everything. I have to go. I've got a fluff on my nose. It won't go away. And I'm late to meet my friend for breakfast. So thank you so much for watching. If you got this far, I'm getting really close to the camera. It's probably very uncomfortable. I'll go back here. Thank you for watching if you made it this far. And yeah, have a great day. Have a great fucking day, man. Take care. And I'll see you soon. Bye.